Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Gibson's 92, giving you guys the latest and exclusive content on the music, entertainment news, and inspirational quotes by me, the Queen's back. Alright, so the talented and legendary Donell Jones, he has spoken. He has always been one of my favorite R&B male artists of all time. So recently, he said that R&B hasn't been the same since he left. Alright, the tea is piping hot, so get ready for your popcorn and I'll break it down to you. So, on his Instagram, he expressed his frustration with, music today and where R&B music has headed. Now, I grew up with Donell Jones, and a while ago I did watch his unsung documentary. And it made me really fall in love with him and really appreciate his music more, because whether people want to admit it or not, you can't say anything about Donell Jones without doing research and without doing your facts. One thing you can't say is he can't sing, because he can sing. Two, he pretty much has really set the bar high with R&B soul music. And alongside with his peers, I would say Brian McKnight and Eric Benet, especially in the early 90s, that's where R&B artists, especially the male artists, they really took the world by storm by not only like they had to have the full package, but that real showmanship and the ability to sing, to write and produce. Donell Jones, he does it all. So I had read word by word after period, and he said how, throughout the years, some people have gave him a hard time because, like I said, he has always been a real artist. And also he said that some people have been ripping off his sound, his style, his music. And like I said, you don't put it past nobody, because he has always been a very gifted artist, and he has always made good music. And I've always have wondered, Donell Jones, he doesn't really get enough flowers as he should, but he's one of the rare R&B artists that really came into the game. And I remember listening to songs like Where I Want to Be, You Know What's Up, featuring Lisa Left Eye Lopez, rest in peace, rest her beautiful soul. She's a legend forever, icon forever. And his music was always new, always different. He had more like that R&B soul, hip hop, neo soul kind of vibe sound, but it's like his music has always been melodic, and it always had like a different edge appeal, and he had that natural sex appeal too. But he was so he just had so much soul and that swag and charisma, and he was always 10 steps ahead of the game with his sound. And yeah, going back at what he was saying, I feel like this is why we need to support more R&B artists and music. And there are a whole bunch of talented R&B artists that have been, making good music and have been putting in the work. But I have been thinking, I say, you know what? I hope that this generation of new R&B artists really, their influences from other artists that came before them, and protect themselves and protect their artistry. Because here's the thing, right now the music nowadays is the same. Repetitive lyrics, repetitive lines, repetitive same old, right? Even as I was listening to other YouTubers' opinions on the music, it's like now everyone's just they're not really being as creative. They don't have enough innovation. Donell Jones was really able to really connect with his audience and his fans. And he comes from that old school traditional R&B, but he has always been more nostalgia. And I really love that, he let his music speak for itself. And he has always did something different and new and edgy. And as I was watching his own song documentary, he explained like his humble career beginnings, how he got into music and all that great stuff. And then for him to be able to get into the music business, he has had hit records, he has had huge success, but as R&B music started to shift into a new direction, he found himself in limbo. And that does ties back to what recently he put on his Instagram post, because he said that like there have been people who have been like, stealing his sound, his ideas, and passing it as their own. And he's fed up, and he has been fed up a few times. And oh my gosh, he said what he said. He said the next time somebody steals his stuff, he gonna let somebody have it. Out of respect, I do agree. I'm an artist myself. I know how it feels, because when you're an artist, regardless if people like your work or not, it's something about your art that it's something that really, it's like it's your baby. It's like what you created, and you really have to cherish it, and you really have to like be careful about people, because we all gonna be influenced by other people. We're all gonna be inspired, but it's a difference when somebody that's genuinely inspired by your work and they acknowledge you and they give credit, whereas somebody just wants to steal it and run away with it, and act like they didn't care. So that's what he was saying. So I feel where he's coming from, and I don't like today's music as much. That's why I go back listening to the old school music I grew up listening to, and yes, I do listen to like new school artists, like new artists coming in, and there's some dope artists that are coming in and they're changing the game of music. So this is why it's frustrating too, because Donell Jones, I can see him being a mentor, and he can be a mentor to like up and coming male artists, R&B male artists, or like they can, they want to explore their sound like R&B and pop male artists. Because I feel like Donell Jones, I can see him like his coaching and being able to really, find his like a mentor, like a teacher, like someone that shows you the ropes because of their experiences in the music business. And I feel like his experience in the music business, he can definitely give people advice, especially young artists, that be careful. There are some people that really ain't up to no good. They don't really want to see you win, so you really gotta be careful in the sound that you create. It's your sound, you should protect it, and you should be able to value yourself as an artist. Because he's pretty much saying, hey, if you put in all that blood, sweat, work, and tears with your work, you should be able to benefit off of it. You should be able to profit off of it, and you should be able to sell it as your own, instead of somebody trying to come in and take over and think, oh, well, you have the right. You have the right to put your foot down. And that's why I get so passionate nowadays, because listen, I understand, music is subjective, of course, we know that, but I know that, like I said, today's listeners of R&B music, and even some of the older generation of R&B lovers too, because I got respect for them too, but I feel like people should give other artists chances too, to be able to create their own sound and new wave of music. But at the same time too, even the older generation of artists, they've had their peak, and they can still make music as well. Support them as well. Continue to support good artists from the older generation and new generation. Good music is good music. I don't care which area you're from. But that's why I feel like Donell Jones, he's making some great points, because if you guys check out my series of what happened to R&B, I do explain a little bit more in depth about the music changing, which artists to like look into, and just be aware of like if you're bored with music, check these artists out, see if you like them or not. But back to Donell Jones, it's like, yeah, he was like saying some things. I'm like, yeah, I feel you, brother, I feel you. But that's the thing, I kind of get his perspective and his opinion, because it's really frustrating to me. I just want to see more male R&B artists, more talented male R&B artists win the game. And Donell Jones, he'll always be talented. He'll always be legendary. He'll always be legitimate music, because the way how his music stands the test of time. His sound, the way his vocals, the way how he can be able to articulate, and also at the same time you read between lines, just have a little bit of that, like, just have a mystiqueness about, who he is as an artist. So I like that, listening to other people's opinions and reading what he said recently. It's like, yeah, because I don't really think that maybe in the next 10 years, I feel like the next 10 years is going to change. It's gradually is on the way with the music, how it's going more. Right now the music is more like trappish, R&B, and soul music, which is cool. But we should get more like that nostalgia, just pop music infused with R&B music. And also we should stop putting our black artists in the box too, because I'm going to make some new videos. Be prepared, the Super Saiyan going to come in for the kill, because it's sad that some people, they want to put these artists in the box. But when you're an artist and you want to explore yourself and you want to be able to make music that really touches your soul and from the heart, just make sure that you protect yourself and make sure that you get people that actually give a damn about what you're going to do. Because Donell Jones, he made a good point. He has really busted his, behind, and really he has seen how some people wanted to, sabotage him, his career, didn't want to give him credit, didn't really think that he was able to really, connect with his fans and his audience. I do commend him for speaking out, because you don't know what goes on behind closed doors anyway. But I really think this is a really great eye-opener for current artists right now, and future artists too, that they have a passion for music. Just make sure you stay the business, know the business, stay out of trouble, work on your art, create something different, and also work with producers that, it can be underground producers, unknown producers, because here's the thing. I think that working with different producers, and make sure, like in a good way, like make sure that the music and sound how you want your music to flow, and want to make sure that it's like you have to be, you want to be able to like set the bar high and become a household name. And at the same time, and here's the, and also I believe that even with like even some of the music that I'm listening to right now, some of the music is good, some of the new music is good, and the rest I don't know, it is what it is. But you get my drift, right? And Donell Jones definitely deserves his flowers too, because sometimes I get bored and just listen to the same old artists over and over. I want to hear more R&B male boy bands coming forefront too, and I feel like he should be, a perfect example of like studying his sound, studying his, vibe, and just studying like his music, but also give him credit. But I know he's a blueprint too, because really I do hear some of the singers singing. I'm like, yeah, I can hear some influences here and there. But like I said, he's just telling it like it is, and I know that people, whether you agree with him or not, he does have a point. Because people do want to hear more R&B artists win. We do want to hear a variety and a balance, and I feel like some of these artists, it's okay to like, experiment with your sound, also be versatile. But as R&B singers and singers, work on your vocal ability. Just make sure that you have more like that, neutral, you just have a variety of what you want to do with your art and your music. So yeah, I feel like Donell Jones, he's a legend, he's legendary, and he, I agree with him, because we just need to hear more of like that raw talent. And he came from an era of raw talent, because even nowadays how some people say, well, talent doesn't exist nowadays and talent ain't really it factor. But I'm tell you something, some of these artists, they, I pray that they have that longevity in the next 10 years and the next 20 years and 30 years and beyond, because what's going to happen is every how many years it's going to be new artists coming in, same thing, sacrifice, put in that work. Once they get the opportunities and, in a good way and make sure they bring the music to life, they'll be good to go. So with that being said, Donell Jones, I salute to you. You are a legend, and much love and respect to you. So with that being said, guys, how do you guys feel about Donell Jones saying that R&B hasn't been the same since he left? And also, I would love to see Donell Jones continue to make new music, and I want him to be able to just keep doing his things. He always has made good music. He always stayed true to himself and his art, and I love that. You know, he's just he appreciates the real, you know, foundation of music. With that being said, guys, Donell fans, please let me know down below. Please share your thoughts and your opinions. Please do not be afraid to stay tuned on the next episode of Give Since 92. Please do not be afraid to like, share, comment, subscribe down below. Please do not be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Please do not be afraid to hit that notification button. And as always, stay tuned on the next episode of Give Since 92, Dragon Ball Z narrator reference. Peace with Barry Girls Exiling out. The Super Saiyans out.